Italian post-race podcast time. Boys, we're in a different location actually right now.
We are.
We're in this man's basement. So, but, it was a bit of a butter's race really, wasn't it?
Yeah. A little bit boring. A little bit just...
There's a lot of issues.
There's DRS trains.
Everywhere.
Yeah. So...
It's a very dull race.
There's not much to divulge into this, really.
No, there's not. I mean, obviously, Charles Leclerc won.
Ferrari win.
Yeah, it's lovely.
The Italian team wins the Italian Grand Prix. So that's always nice to see.
Yeah, it's nice.
and not only was the downfall of Max Verstappen, but also Norris didn't capitalise as much as he probably should.
No,
he should have done
better. He had an opportunity there, and he got done out again. Lap 1 by his teammate.
Props to Piastri though. He raced better.
He held it
absolutely.
Race.
He did run the better race. But anyway, let's just jump straight into the driver rating, shall we?
Yeah,
I think
straight in.
All the topics will come up.
Straight in.
Straight in. So obviously, the way this works is that we rank the drivers from 1 to 5. 1 being the worst, 5 being the best. This man has never done a post-race pod before, so he's going to be giving his ratings off the cuff. And because
just off the top of my head,
because his ratings don't matter in the grand scheme of things,
no.
he can be as harsh or as kind as he wants.
Yeah.
So
don't bother me.
This is gonna be
no feelings get hurt.
Yeah.
No feelings get hurt.
Right.
I don't get shouted at the end of the season because you've given a 5 to Logan Sargent.
Let's get into it.
Right, let's get into it then. So. Starting in last place,
Yuki.
DNF.
I mean, you've got to go off his poor quali as well.
Yeah, obviously he's been ran into by Nico Hülkenberg.
He wasn't running high up though, was he?
No, he wasn't, and it's unfortunate for Yuki, but at the same time, I don't really think he was making any inroads.
I gave him a 2.
I give him a 2 as well.
I'm giving him a 2.
Yeah, 2.
So one that makes sense.
Pretty much that, like 3 is your average.
3 is your average.
He was below average, the quality wasn't good enough.
No.
And he didn't run enough of the race for us to have a solid viewpoint on that one.
Yep, absolutely. 19th was Lance Stroll in the end.
Why?
He pit again, right at the end.
Oh, what an idiot.
His racing was just, I'd say, very mediocre, if not poor.
I gave him a 1.
A what? A 1?
Where did Alonso qualify? Where did Lance qualify? Where's Alonso in this race? Where's Lance in this race?
Alonso didn't score points.
Well, he might have done.
He didn't.
Did not? No, but he's 11th.
This isn't due to my hatred of
Where
Stroll.
is Stroll? Stroll before that was there with Hülkenberg.
In my head, before Jack had even spoke, I'd voted him a 1 because he just had a poor race. From where, like you say, from when he started to where he ended, is disgusting on the grid.
It's where his teammate is, and his teammate the whole weekend in qualify. He went out in Q1 Stroll as well, which is not where it needs to be. That Aston Martin was pushing Q3 as we saw with Alonso. He only just missed out.
Yep.
And during this race, he was nowhere. At least Alonso was challenging for points.
Yes, he was let down by his qualifying, but I think he was in and amongst. I don't think it's 1. I think it's 2.
Well, I've given him a 1.
I've given him a 2.
I've given him a 1.
I don't think it's quite a 1.
We don't have to agree.
Someone that is a 1 though is 18th Guan Yu Zhou.
I've given him a 2.
Really?
Why?
Because obviously he's crap. He is.
Don't wank.
Compared to what he's done at other races, at least he was in and amongst the lot.
No, he wasn't.
He wasn't miles off.
He's a 1.
No, he wasn't. And the only reason he finished in front of Stroll was because Stroll pitted 3 times and he pitted once.
He wasn't far off Hülkenberg.
Hulkenberg had massive penalties.
Yeah, so it's a 1 from Stroll.
I'm just trying to give something to
it's
him.
A 1
no,
for
I'm not. That's 3 1s in a row for Zhou for me.
I've given him a 2.
It's disgusting.
Okay.
17th is Nico Hülkenberg. And
he was my flop of the weekend, if you remember.
He was, yeah. You actually did have that. I don't think he get the point on that one.
No,
I get half a point.
You get half point, but his qualifying is the only thing keeping it from being a 1 because that was an absolutely shocking race. I gave him a 2. Yeah,
I think we can agree.
I'll agree on that.
Yeah,
2.
16th is Valtteri
Bottas. It's a 3.
Once again, it's so hard.
Where's the stake? Nowhere. Like he's in and amongst it.
And I don't think it's his fault. I think it's more the car for Bottas.
Well, that's the thing with Bottas, isn't it? He finishes in front of his teammate every race.
Pretty much.
and he's beat Hulkenberg.
Well, yeah.
You can't give him anything else than the 3.
No. Is it Gasly and Ocon next?
Yeah,
we'll
Gasly and
together.
Ocon. I'm gonna give them both 3s. No, I'll give them both 3s. Alpine was nowhere this weekend.
I did give Gasly a 2.
Why?
I just felt like Ocon had that little bit more. Maybe it was the start of the race before he pitted, but he was holding his own right up there in the top 10. I didn't see Gasly anywhere near at any point.
That's fair.
That's the only thing. All I saw from Gasly is battling down for 14th.
That's fair, but then again, Gasly pit twice and Ocon didn't.
Yeah, so it swings around about, but I don't know. I just think Gasly had a bit more of a poorer weekend than Ocon.
I've given them both 2s.
I've given Gasly a 3.
I gave Ocon 3, Gasly 2.
Okay, well, I've given both 3s. Daniel Ricciardo finished 13th in the end, obviously, with that penalty.
10-second penalty.
That put him behind Colapinto in the end.
It did, but with where the RB was this weekend...
Oh, he was, yeah.
He was doing very well.
It's a 3.
Yeah, it's a 3. It would have been a 4, but he was let down by the first penalty, which then obviously caused him to get the next one.
It's not his fault with the next one.
The next one isn't, but the next one, he wouldn't have been given the next penalty if it wasn't for him causing the first one.
Yeah.
So, like you said, swings and roundabouts with Ocon and Gasly. I've given Ricciardo a 3, would have given him a 4, but, you know.
Colapinto.
Speaking of Colapinto is 12th, and what a race he had.
Where did he start?
He started 18th.
Yeah, you see, I feel like I want to give him a 5.
I haven't given him a 5.
But I've given him a 4.
I've given him a 4.
But you can see why I want to give him a 5.
Yeah.
He's done very well.
He's done very well, yeah. It's sort of similar to Behrman in the sense that, you know, he's come in...
If he got points, I would have given him a 5.
If he's come in mid-season...
And he kept his lap clean in quality.
Yeah, had he kept his lap clean and maybe pipped into Q2, it's a 5 for today. For this weekend, but it's a 4 just because he made that slight mistake. But I'm not going to penalise that. He's had a fantastic weekend for his first drive, and I think 4 is deserved.
Yeah.
For Colapinto.
Can we lump a few together here?
You don't lump a few together? No.
Alonso and Magnussen.
No. Well, Alonso and Magnussen we can. I think Alonso and Magnussen, I think both 4.
Yeah, I've done the same.
Yeah.
Magnussen got let down by his quali, but an incredible recovery in the race.
Very good race.
And a very good...
So 1 stop as well?
I believe it was, yes, a 1 stop. Made some incredible overtakes.
And with a penalty, he still got a point.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
I can't disagree with you boys on that.
Why?
I can't disagree on
He
that.
said he
can't. I thought you said, oh, boy, I'm
He's
disagreeing with you, boys.
No.
No.
They've both done alright.
Yeah. And Alonso gets a 4 because he's beat his teammate and he's maximised that Aston Martin, really, hasn't he? This weekend, so.
Yeah.
Alex Albon, 9th.
Very good race.
It's 5. It's 5 straight up. You know, he's best of the rest. Can't complain. Started 9th, finished 9th. Best of the rest. Extracted everything from Williams.
Yep.
Man in the midfield.
Yep.
I will die on the hill that Alex Albon's having a very underrated season, and I'll stand by that for everyone that disagrees with me.
Can we kind of lump the Red Bulls together here?
No.
8th. Stop trying to rush this, right?
No, because a couple of these are all the same.
8th, Sergio Perez.
3.
Yeah, 3.
It's a 3 for Perez, but it's a 2 for Max.
No.
What do you mean no?
No.
Oh.
Well, we're not on to Max yet.
We're not
on Perez.
Oh, I'm ready for Max.
Russell.
3. It's a Perez. It's a Perez. It's a 3 for Perez. It's a Perez for 3. It's a 3 for Perez.
3 for Perez.
Yeah, 3 for Perez.
It's a 3 for Perez, but any other driver in that position who's in the top lot, that's a 2 for them.
Yeah, but once again, as you've mentioned many times before, we do this partly based off expectation as well as what they deliver. And Perez's job in a time where Red Bull need him to be consistently scoring points is to be within the top lot, and at least he was.
Yeah,
like he wasn't outside the points. And you know, let's just say if Max was still winning races, then yeah, that's a 2 and maybe even a 1. But because because that Red Bull clearly just, as you said at the start of the weekend, is the 4th fastest car.
It looked like the 4th fastest, yeah.
Then I can't complain for Perez. Russell.
He had some good overtakes.
He had a great qualifying.
Yeah, he had a great qualifying. I've given Russell a 3. I almost gave him a 2.
I gave him a 3. It's difficult because it kind of was his mistake at turn 1 that's let him down for this whole race.
Yeah, I almost gave him a 2.
Yeah.
But I think it was a good recovery.
I think the qualifying saved him from a 2 here as well.
Yeah.
It was a good recovery. He could have easily... If that was anyone else, if that was Perez, I feel like he doesn't come back into that race.
Yeah.
But he managed to, so...
And beat Perez.
Yeah, and he beat Perez, so that's fair enough in the end. 6th, Max Verstappen.
2.
2, why?
He had a poor race. The way he was driving was poor.
Obviously we know that the Red Bull was on the back foot out of them all, but to be that far behind the Mercedes, that far behind the Ferraris, that far behind the McLarens, and not to mention his qualifying lap in Q3 was shocking. He ballsed up the first one, his own mistake, and then the next one he had a good run, and then it just went. And he shouldn't be that far back because they were closer than that, and we saw that through Q2 and Q1.
Once again, I can see where you're coming from, but once again, for me, it is based off expectation.
What? You expected Max to finish 6th today?
Yeah, I do. Red Bull coming into the weekend, 4th fastest car. I do expect the Ferraris, McLarens...
I think their strategy messed them up as well.
Yeah, it did, and that's Red Bull's fault. That's not Max's fault.
The slow stop.
Yeah, and the slow stop. So Max, it's a 3. I can't say it's anything extraordinary. He didn't. The only reason he beat Russell was because Russell messed up at turn 1, and of course he's going to beat Perez. So, it might have been a 4 if he managed to make inroads on the Ferraris and the McLarens.
It can't be a 4 with the mistakes that he made in qualifying.
No, I'm playing hypothetical, devil's advocate here, but
but even if you wanted to give him a 4, say he'd had goal,
that would be ridiculous.
No chance because of the mistakes that he made in qualifying.
Well, it depends where he finishes.
No.
If first, that's in a 4.
If he gets a podium, then it's 4.
Yeah.
We'll see. Anyway, move on.
We'll see. 5th was Lewis Hamilton. That's a 3, innit?
I gave him a 3 because of the poor quali.
Just mid.
Yeah. It was mid. It was a mid weekend. I do think Hamilton, although he probably wouldn't have won this race, could have maybe caused a bit of an upset if he'd qualified higher.
Maybe ahead of Sainz.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But I think the front 3 were away.
Yeah, they were. 4th is Carlos Sainz. I've given him a 4.
I gave him a 4.
Yeah. That's the only thing I can think of.
He's been outdone by his teammate quite considerably, but in also saying that he committed to the one stop earlier than everyone else.
Yeah.
Unless
Leclerc wasn't and then thought, I'm doing it.
Sainz isn't on Leclerc's level, is he? Anyway.
No, he's not. The thing that I give him a 4 because once again he did commit to it first when it might not have worked. But if he didn't commit to it, I don't think they do it with Charles.
No.
So them being able to realise they can do it came from Sainz doing it.
Yeah.
So you got to give him props. 3rd, Lando Norris.
Ooh.
It's a 3. It's a 3.
I disagree.
It's harsh. It's a 3. But he qualified on pole, and in a time where you have to be winning races to catch Max in the title race. I know we say there's a lot of races left, and he doesn't have to be this on it, but I mean,
it's a high.
You have to.
It's a high 3 because it was a 5 quali lap.
Yes.
The quali. If he hadn't got pole, he'd be looking at a low 3.
Yeah. It's
a 3. 4.
It's
a 4.
It's a poor race because he got outdone by Piastri considerably. He was never in it really. He had Leclerc all over him, if not ahead of him. It's poor from Lando considering he started on pole.
Why did you give him a 4?
I just rated how he was driving. I rated that he got back some positions
that's his favourite driver.
Yeah, that's true.
Plus, there is going to be a bit of bias.
Bit of bias there, aren't we?
Of course. Well, there's always bias, isn't there? Really.
Yeah. We're all biased against Verstappen.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%.
Piastri.
2nd is Oscar Piastri.
I gave both Piastri and Leclerc 5s.
Yeah, same.
I'm putting them two together because both of them are extraordinary today.
They've done amazing jobs of the race.
You can't doubt how well they've done in that race. Leclerc doing a one-stop, Piastri with the pace that he showed to never really be in danger the whole race.
No, I can't fault either of them.
And it looked like in qualifying that he wasn't ever going to challenge Lando, but it's just a complete 180 in the race.
He put it on front. He put it on second on quali as well. So.
Yeah, he did. But it turned
That's
just
where
into
McLaren needed to be.
It turned into a complete 180 in the race, and he was just
gone, wasn't
he? Yeah, he was. Yeah, he managed to. Fantastic move to put Lando under pressure as well.
Yeah,
brilliant.
And overtake him, and then run away with it. Essentially, the only thing it's a very similar drive, I feel, to Lewis Hamilton in Belgium.
Yeah.
Lewis took Charles in the first couple of laps and then ran away with it. The only difference is obviously George ended up getting disqualified, but George would have won that race. But that doesn't discredit what Hamilton did.
Well, I mean, you tried to give Hamilton a 4 in
I
Belgium,
did.
if we go back over that one.
I did, but
let's not bring something up here that shouldn't be brought up because we'll get on another rant.
No, I did, but obviously I think at the end of the day, looking back at it, if I was to go back and do that again, I would give Hamilton a 5 because it is a. You were right. It is a fantastic drive from Hamilton, the same way that it's a fantastic drive from Oscar today. So.
Yeah, and then obviously Charles Leclerc, it's a 5. One of the easiest 5s I can give with that Ferrari putting it.
That's ridiculous, isn't it?
A win in Monza with that Ferrari. I mean,
not only is that a ballsy strategy, it's a fantastic drive to keep
those tyres
going. To keep tyres
those tyres shouldn't have been moving the way they were.
Incredible. And that moves us on to your driver of the day. For me, it's Charles.
Yeah.
Charles Leclerc. To be honest.
Charles Leclerc.
I was close to putting Piastri.
Pretty easy. I mean, Piastri, pretty honourable mention. I think you can put Magnussen in there with a mention.
Albon.
No.
Albon, yeah. But it's Charles.
It's got to be Charles.
It's Charles.
Who's your flop of the weekend?
Hulkenberg.
Yeah. Joe.
I'm not getting that with us.
That's given.
Everyone knows that one. Everyone knows that.
Okay,
it's Hulkenberg.
Yeah, to fumble a Q3 and when your teammates scoring points. I mean, imagine what Hulkenberg could have been if
I would say Hulkenberg.
My flop of the weekend before the weekend started is the flop at the end.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
Well, there we go.
It is, and that is it for